outside of the usual school program. Before Becky left, Hazel and Becky would stay by the cubbies until the last possible second, getting each other up to date on all the things that had passed since they'd parted the afternoon before. Becky's cat's hairballs and what they looked like. Becky thought her cat was trying to communicate through them. Hazel's adventures in the graveyard, and if they needed to add any total rainfall to their year-long tally, each girl kept a jar with a ruler outside her house. All that had ended when Becky had been plucked away for a new life in Arizona, where it hardly ever rained. Mornings like these, Hazel missed Becky the most. She could always help Hazel feel better, usually by making creepy faces like pulling down her lower eyelids and sucking her bottom lip in so far it looked like she didn't have any teeth at all. A moment later, Mary Ann arrived with Connie Short. The two were locked at the elbow, just the way she and Becky used to walk, only it hadn't been annoying when they'd done it. Mary Ann and Connie were in deep discussion of a television show they'd seen the night before. Hazel knew the name, but she'd never seen it. Her family had a black and white television, but they hardly ever used it. All her parents liked to watch were the news and educational shows like You Were There. Hazel did watch the cartoons, though, when she got up before her parents on the weekend. Connie, with her wide green eyes and bouncy brown curls, was prettier than Mary Ann, though no one, least of all Connie, would ever say so. She said she was plain because she had a dusting of freckles across her nose. Pretty as she looked, she was also pigeon-toed, which made her waddle when she walked. Sometimes Hazel wondered if Mary Ann had built Connie like some sort of Frankenstein-type monster. Connie was a shadow of Mary Ann, paler, quieter, not as smart, and not as cruel. She was Mary Ann's echo. If Hazel hadn't known both of them her whole life, the artificial creation theory would be hard to dismiss. They'd been best friends since forever, and both of them had a dark, solid center that made them mean. Not everyone else could see it, not all the other kids, and certainly not the teachers, who seemed to think that Mary Ann and Connie were just about as perfect could be. But Hazel could. Mary Ann and Connie didn't even have a chance to ignore her before Mrs. Sinclair asked them all to stand to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Their words all ran together, and Hazel didn't think it was respectful. The pledge was their way of saying they stood with their great nation against communism and dictators and everything else awful in the world, and they just rushed through it. Hazel wondered how many of her classmates even knew what the word allegiance meant. Next came music. Hazel hated music, and she found it particularly unfair that she had to start off Friday morning with it. Friday should be a day of celebration, but for Mrs. Sinclair's 5th grade class at Adelaide Switzer Elementary, it was instrument day. Hazel took her seat on the rust-colored rug, knowing that today would be just the same as every other day. Mrs. Ferrigno liked to make a big, dramatic deal about handing out the instruments in music class, but it always ended up the same. Big and polite Anthony got the largest set of cymbals, and his friend Timmy got the smaller ones. Another set of boys got vibra-slaps. None of the boys could manage to sit still and quiet with their instruments, so as Mrs. Ferrigno kept going, her voice was accompanied by metal sliding on metal and the occasional soft boing of a vibra-slap hitting a knee. As Mrs. Ferrigno made her way through the instruments, Hazel knew the inevitable was coming. Mary Ann and Connie would get the 2 glockenspiels, and of course, they would react to this news with squeals of delight. Just once, Hazel thought, I would like to get the glockenspiel. I would react with dignity and take the mallets from Mrs. Ferrigno's outstretched hand and sit behind my instrument like I was getting ready to play Carnegie Hall. Hazel imagined herself standing center stage at Carnegie Hall. She'd never been there, but she'd seen pictures. The vaulted ceiling would arch high above her head, making her look small on the stage. But once her mallets hit the glockenspiel, there would be no denying her power.